is too many of one thing in any company, any community. And I think diversity and mixture is really important. I think Michael Bennett loves to play the game of football and likes the camaraderie and the different characters on any football team. That's what I hear him say.
Right, but also I don't think that he would want 20 guys like himself.
No question. No question. Too many of the same thing is not going to be good recipe for anything. I mean, I think what, and listen, I just listened to a little bit that you had right there, but you're really talking about locker room chemistry, being around guys that you get along with, and more importantly, I mean, to me, watching Michael Bennett play, I see a passionate football player. And my guess is that Michael Bennett wants a lot of other guys that are passionate about it. And to him, he's saying, hey, passion in football can be a mixture of good guys, whatever, different type of guys that want to run the streets, whatever they want to do. But I think he's looking for mixture. And he obviously likes to have fun playing football.
Right. I think to take this beating, and more so than the next guy. One of the things I used to tell other guys, because they used to ask me all the time, Chris, what makes you different? And I said, man, I'm willing to get knocked out. I'm willing to get hurt. Green, through his mentor, Bill Walsh, the late Bill Walsh, in his book, he said, on a 53-man roster, you can have 5 bad guys. That's what he said. You can have guys that talk trash. You can have guys that you're going to have discipline problems with. But 5 is to that theory. You need 5 guys. I mean, they might be a little bit touched because all of us. I played 16 years in the NFL. Came in 1987, got knocked out in 2002. All of us to play this game, you got to be a little touched. You got to be a little moved in your. There's something different. So if you're tough, they will find you. And I believe that tough and then smart, those are the 2 ingredients that you need to be a successful football player in the NFL.
If you're going to build a team, you want to build it on smart and tough. And I
stuff all wrapped tight, Coach. So I'm willing to accept another guy with his blemishes, with his personality flaws. Yes, because I'm no finished product, and I'm tough to work with myself.
Before I get into
this is literally the first I'm hearing of this.
The intelligence factor is football intelligence, and how that's something that gets forgotten. We call guys tough or guys soft. The importance to have smart football players on your team, and those guys can be tough or they can be praying like.
And have a Russell Wilson. Okay?
You're absolutely right.
What do you mean?
If you don't have someone who is a leader, I don't care if he touched the ball every time.
Okay.
If your middle linebacker is not Russell Wilson or have the characteristic of Russell Wilson, you can't win in this league. You need leaders. leaders. Now, leaders lead different way. Russell is leading within his character. Tom Brady is leading within his character. They do it two separate ways, but you need guys like that.
What Chris hit on is really, really key. When you've got a football team, and I would venture to say that these past Super Bowl winners have that guy at the quarterback position and have that guy at the Mike linebacker position. Because you need it on both sides of the football. And when you don't have that, that's where it can get skewed a little bit. But going back to the smarts that Nick, that you were talking about, in this day and age in football where the offenses are so complex and defenses are getting complex as well, if you don't understand football as a player, you can hurt your football team. Understand your job and what it takes to do your job.
But once that number reaches a tipping point, all of a sudden you start becoming the Blazers of the early 2000s, and it starts spilling out to where it's untenable. And once the number a football team becomes more than a half dozen or so, you start having some of the problems the Cincinnati Bengals had in the early 2000s, where, because here's what I believe, having not been in the locker room, you tell me if I have it right. You're going to have, let's say it's five guys that are on this end of the spectrum, 5 guys that are on this end of the spectrum. And then you got your 40 guys in the middle that can kind of go either way. If all of a sudden on the tough end of the spectrum it's 9, 10, on the Russell Wilson end of the spectrum it's 2 or 3, those guys in the middle, it's easier for them to start gravitating that way. And then you can have kind of crazy to play this game.
You do.
You have to, and Mark Schlereth says all the time, you have to put your body through things that your body and brain are telling you, I should not go through in order to have a successful, long career.
Type of toughness. And as far as the Christianity, I think that we've gotten way beyond that. You can't be a good Christian and be a great football player. In my heyday, Coach will tell you, we had a group of guys that we prayed. We talked on the phone about one. Can play for any football team. And this is one thing that I've found out through dealing with the craziest guys. I mean, the guys that would do the most unusual things that I've ever seen. Guys who you didn't necessarily have a lot of respect for. Let me tell you what happens about 15 minutes before the game. Everybody gets spiritual because they know what they're getting ready to do with their body. And these guys don't come to Bible study. But when the coach says, let's get here and pray, all 53 of them come together and realize, you know something? I might not even believe what he believed. But whatever they're getting right now, give me a little touch of that before I go out here and risk my health.
Amen. That's a great point. And look at, and that goes each other if we're passionate about the job that we're doing. Because if I know you're passionate, I know you're passionate, Jenna, you're passionate, we got a better chance of winning this thing if we can respect each other and know that we're passionate.
Right, Coach, if you have one
so much.
It was awesome.
Great
Thank you
to
guys
see
for having
you.
me.
Coming up, did the 49ers pick the wrong quarterback? We'll break that down next on First Things First.
Talking about passion, we're talking about, I mean, JP